95% of people react to everything that comes their way. Fixing, adjusting, putting out fires. Strategic thinking completely transforms how we navigate life. That is tactical thinking. It works in the short term, but traps you in a constant cycle of survival. Imagine this. You are playing chess. A beginner focuses on the next move. A grandmaster sees patterns, timing, and possibilities 20 moves ahead. That is strategic thinking. But here is the twist. Life is not really a chessboard. It is a blueprint. And you are not just a player. You are the architect designing how the game itself is played. Think of it this way. There are two kinds of people in the world. Those who react to the system, and those who build their own operating system. The first type wakes up each morning waiting to see what happens. The second type writes the code for what happens next. You cannot win a game whose rules you do not understand. And the rule of this game, the law of progress itself, is strategic thinking. It means stepping back from the noise of daily problems to see the design behind them. Instead of asking, how do I fix this? You ask, why? Does this pattern keep repeating? Instead of asking, what should I do today? You ask, who am I becoming? 5 years from now. Here is the powerful truth. Strategic thinking is not a talent you are born with. It is a skill you can train. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you think in decades instead of minutes, every time you connect patterns instead of chasing dots, you are strengthening your strategic muscle. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary people is not luck or timing or even talent. It is the ability to zoom out far enough to design the map before taking the next step. They do not just react to life. They design it. They do not just solve problems. They redesign the system so those problems never return. They do not just chase opportunities. They create engines that produce them. Starting today, you will learn how to shift from tactical to strategic thinking. Because this is not just another skill. It is the master system that upgrades every other part of your life. Chapter 1. Personal Strategic Analysis. Now that you understand strategic thinking, let's turn that powerful lens on yourself. Personal strategic analysis is not just another self-assessment. It is like holding a high-resolution map of your life. Think of yourself as the CEO of your own company. Every CEO must know their organization's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You need to know yours too. But here is where most people stop too early. They list a few skills and think, I am good at math, or I am creative. But creativity is not only about art. It is about seeing possibilities where others see walls. Being good at math is not just about numbers. It is about understanding how systems connect and behave. To build real clarity, you need to audit yourself across 3 timelines. Look at your past victories and find the patterns behind them. Did you win because you thought differently? Because you stayed patient longer? Or because you connected ideas others ignored? Then examine your present. Where is your energy going right now? Who gets your time? And what returns are you getting from it? Finally, look toward your future. What goals or instincts keep calling you forward? Those signals point to the path your deeper self is ready to grow into. Now connect these insights and you will start to see something powerful. Your inner operating system. Every repeated action, every reaction, every belief you live by runs on this invisible code. If the code is outdated, your results will be too. Updating your inner OS means rewriting the mental programs that shape every decision you make. This process is not about judging yourself. It is about understanding the system that drives you. When you see yourself with crystal clarity, you stop guessing and start designing. You make moves that amplify your strengths, protect your weak spots, and reveal opportunities that most people never notice. That is the first real step of strategic thinking, to know your own map before you start the journey. Chapter 2. Strategic Vision Development. Most people build like they are stacking bricks without a blueprint, hoping a dream home appears. Strategic vision means drawing the blueprint first. Here is the core idea. Your future is not something that happens to you. It is something you design on purpose. The best way to design it is to start at the end. Picture yourself 5 years from now. Go beyond the obvious money, career, relationships. Ask how you feel when you wake. Which problems are no longer in your life? What impact you are making on others? Which skills you now own? Now make that image real by working backward. If that is your destination, what must be true 1 year from now, 6 months from now, next month? Each step backward becomes a milestone on your strategic roadmap. Before all of that comes one deeper layer called purpose design. Do not begin by asking, what do I want? Begin by asking what is worth wanting. As Nietzsche said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. That why becomes the torch you carry when plans change. This is where people get stuck. They think vision is about predicting the exact future. The truth is different. Vision is about direction. It is your North Star, not a GPS route. It is not only a map. It is the light you follow when the map is blurry. Your strategic vision becomes a filter for every decision. Should you take that job? Move to that city? Learn that skill? The vision answers by aligning choices with your purpose and destination. When you know where you are going, you stop reacting to life and start creating it. That is the moment strategy steps out of theory and becomes the way you live. Chapter 3. Strategic Environment Design. Your environment quietly shapes your decisions every day. Most people rely on willpower. Strategic thinkers design the stage, so success becomes almost automatic. If you keep cookies on your desk, you will eat them. That is not a willpower problem. That is an environment problem. Strategic environment design means arranging your world, so good choices are easy and bad choices are hard. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow and leave your phone in another room. Want to exercise? Sleep in gym clothes and set your shoes by the door. This goes beyond physical space. Your digital feeds, your social circle, and your routines are environments you can shape. Each one either pulls you toward your goals or pushes you away. Unfollow noise, mute low-value channels, choose friends who normalize the habits you want. Now add the layer most people ignore, your inner environment. The sounds you allow, the emotions you rehearse, the energy you bring. Loud clutter keeps your nervous system on edge. Unprocessed feelings hijack attention. Low energy makes every choice heavier. Quiet audio, honest reflection, and simple breathing can reset your internal room so focus returns. Set these environments well, and good decisions become your default. You stop fighting your surroundings and let them carry you forward. This is not about perfect spaces. It is about strategic ones. Small changes compound. Every default you adjust shapes a day. Your days shape your life. Remember, you cannot think strategically inside a chaotic room, even if that room exists only in your mind. Chapter 4. Resource Optimization. Most people think resources are things you spend. Strategic thinkers treat resources as things you multiply. Think of them like seeds, not coins. You do not just use time, you invest it. You do not just spend energy, you channel it. You do not just have skills, you compound them. Here is what most people miss. Some of the highest return assets are invisible resources. Quiet time, focused attention, reputation, and trust. Block protected hours for deep work. Guard your focus from low-value inputs. Earn trust by delivering reliably. Reputation then opens doors. Your effort alone cannot. A simple way to remember this idea. Leverage, rect, skill. X, trust. X, energy. Noise knowledge improves decisions. Better decisions create more opportunities. More opportunities expand your resources. It is a flywheel. Each new skill multiplies the rest. Each strong relationship is not one contact. It is a gateway to networks and insight. Resources are not only what you own. They are what you can access. You do not need to buy every tool if you can borrow, rent, partner, or automate. The aim is not having more, but doing more with what you have. When you design for multiplication, abundance emerges from efficiency. Reduce noise. Raise energy. Grow skill. Build trust. That is how ordinary inputs turn into extraordinary results. Chapter 5. Risk and Uncertainty Management. Most people see risk as something to avoid. Strategic thinkers treat it as the price of growth. Trees that never face wind grow weak and snap in the first storm. Trees that face steady wind drive deeper roots. Your life works the same way. Here is the crucial difference. Average thinkers try to avoid all risks. Strategic thinkers separate smart risks from foolish ones. They do not only prepare for what might go wrong, they also position themselves to benefit when things go right. The core tool is asymmetric risk. Take bets where the potential upside is far larger than the downside. Learning a new skill is a clean example. Worst case, you lose a few hours. Best case, you change the arc of your career. Now widen the frame. There is also emotional risk. The courage to love. The courage to tell the truth. The courage to fail in public and keep going. These are fast engines of growth. They rewrite identity. One honest conversation can repair a year of avoidance. One public attempt can open rooms that fear kept closed. When you understand risk properly, you stop treating Plan B as surrender. You start designing backup paths that become optionality. Each alternate route is another way to win. This is not about being reckless. It is about being resilient. Create rules that cap the downside and let the upside run. Use small experiments. Use clear stop losses. Use partnerships that share risk and multiply learning. Document lessons so the next decision improves. Uncertainty will not vanish. Managed well, it becomes a tailwind, not a threat. You will feel fear and move anyway because the math is on your side. Remember this. Risk does not destroy you. It strips you. It removes the costumes and the excuses so you can meet your original self. Once you meet that person, you stop asking whether to step forward. You step. Chapter 6. Growth and Learning Strategies. Most people chase random skills hoping something will stick. Strategic learners see that learning itself is a skill, and it may be the most powerful one. Your brain is not a bucket for facts. It is a living network where every new node links to what you already know. When you learn strategically, those links create explosive growth. The engine is learning transfer. Master one thing deeply, and you upgrade many others at once. Study chess, and your strategic foresight improves. Practice music, and your pattern recognition sharpens. Learn a new language, and your brain rewires how it encodes and retrieves meaning. Make it practical. Stop collecting disconnected tricks. Hunt for meta skills that multiply everything else. Pattern recognition, mental models, systems thinking, deliberate practice. These do not simply add, they compound. Now install an operating loop. Learning Loop 2.0. Observe, apply, reflect, teach, iterate. Observe the principle in the wild. Apply it in a small, real task. Reflect on what worked and why. Teach the distilled lesson to someone else. Even future you in a short note or a short video. Iterate by adjusting the next attempt with one clear improvement. Teaching is the highest form of learning because it forces structure, clarity, and ownership. When you can explain an idea simply, you prove you understand the idea and where it breaks. That is why creators who explain what they learn advance faster. They convert confusion into reusable tools. Here is the game changer. Growth is not linear. It is exponential. Every new skill makes the next skill easier. Every pattern you recognize helps you spot the next one sooner. The cycle reinforces itself. Competence builds confidence. Confidence fuels exploration. Exploration produces more transfer. You do not need to know everything. You need a process that learns from everything. Become the person who can learn anything, anytime, anywhere. In a world changing fast, the ultimate strategic advantage is not what you know. It is how quickly you can learn, unlearn, and relearn. Chapter 7. Relationship and Network Strategy. Relationships are not side notes in your life. They are multipliers of everything else. The most successful people know that no one succeeds alone, and they do not build random ties. They build strategic ones. Think of your network like a garden. Each relationship needs the right conditions to grow. Some need frequent sunlight and small daily touches. Others thrive on occasional deep conversations. The key is not treating everyone the same. The key is understanding the nature of each bond and caring for it accordingly. Here is why this matters. Every person you know carries their own network, skills, and perspectives. Their strengths can complement yours. Their viewpoints can expand your thinking. The real magic begins when you connect people with each other. That is when the network starts compounding on its own. Lead with value. Be known as the one who connects, helps, and shares without keeping score. When you consistently create value for others, opportunities begin to flow back as a byproduct. Strong networks are not built on transactions. They are built on transformation. Do not just ask what someone can do for you. Ask how you can help them grow, and grow alongside them. Add one more layer most people ignore: the energetic network. Emotions and intentions travel through relationships just like information does. Calm focus invites trust. Cynicism drains the room. Regulate your energy before you enter a call. Listen fully. Celebrate wins. Your state becomes a silent invitation for others to rise. Use the value triangle to guide behavior. Connection is building trust and understanding. Collaboration is doing real work together with clear stakes. Creation is producing something that outlives the meeting and benefits the whole circle. Aim to move ties up this triangle over time. Do this well, and your network becomes a living ecosystem of opportunity, insight, and support. It grows beyond the sum of its parts and multiplies every goal you care about. Final line to remember: strategic connection is not about using people. It is about lifting the ecosystem you share together. Chapter 8. Career and Work Strategy. Working hard and waiting for promotion is not a strategy. It is a recipe for frustration. Strategic career planning operates on a different level. Think of your career as a chess game. Most players think only one move ahead. The next job, the next raise. Strategic players think in patterns and positions. They create conditions where many good outcomes can happen at once. Every skill you build, every relationship you nurture, every project you complete is not just an achievement. It is an asset that continues working for you in the background. The goal is not just to perform well. It is to position yourself where performance compounds. This is where the idea of a career moat comes in. It is the combination of skills, relationships, and reputation that make you valuable and difficult to replace. When you have a moat, opportunities find you. You stop chasing and start choosing. But the modern world has changed the board entirely. Your career is not a single ladder. It is a portfolio. A portfolio career means running several streams of value in parallel: your main job, your creative work, and your side projects. Each one feeds the others with skills, visibility, and networks. Your full-time role gives structure and income. Your creative or entrepreneurial projects give expression, learning, and freedom. Together they build resilience. If one stream slows, the others keep you moving forward. Every position you take should deliver 3 returns: skills you can build upon, relationships you can grow with, and chances to create visible impact. It is not about playing politics. It is about becoming so effective that people cannot ignore you, and so strategic that they cannot replace you. Think of your professional life as an ecosystem of assets rather than a single job title. Update the ecosystem regularly. Add new skills. Prune outdated ones. Diversify your income and identity. Stability no longer comes from one employer. It comes from multiple engines that reinforce each other. Do not look for a stable job. Build a flexible ecosystem. When you do, success stops depending on luck or timing. It becomes the natural outcome of a system designed to grow with you. Chapter 9. Financial Strategy Integration. Money is not the goal. It is the tool that buys freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choice, freedom of impact. What makes financial strategy powerful is not what money can buy, but what money can build. Think of money like water in a garden. Do not splash it at random. Create channels and systems so it nourishes what matters. Every dollar should do one of 2 jobs. Protect the downside. Create upside. Most people obsess over saving. Strategic thinkers focus on deploying. Invest in skills, relationships, and opportunities that generate returns. You are not just spending, you are building small money machines. Add a deeper lens called time wealth. Being rich in time matters more than being rich in cash. True wealth is measured less by assets and more by how many days you can live on your terms. Use money to buy back hours. Automate bills. Shorten commutes. Outsource friction. Fund buffers that let you choose work for meaning, not for panic. Link every financial choice to your larger life strategy. Buying a home. Weigh location and leverage against the life you want. Starting a business. Value the learning and optionality as well as the profit. Taking a job. Calculate the learning dividend and network you will gain. Here is the key insight. Financial freedom is not a number. It is a system. Build multiple streams of value. Accumulate assets that work while you sleep. Design your days so earning becomes increasingly automatic. This is not about getting rich quick. It is about building wealth that lasts, creates options, and lets you decide based on impact rather than necessity. Integrate money with purpose and direction. Then money stops being the scoreboard and becomes the scaffolding for the life you want. Final line to remember. Freedom. System. Fear. Chapter 10. Health and Energy Strategy. Health is not another category on a checklist. It is the foundation under everything else. Your energy level touches every decision you make, every interaction you have, every goal you chase. Most people get this backward. They sacrifice health for success when health is success. Energy management is different from time management. You cannot make more hours, but you can create more usable energy. And when energy rises, each minute yields more value. It is like upgrading your life's operating system. Energy is not only about diet and exercise, it is also recovery, stress regulation, sleep quality, light exposure, breath mechanics. Each lever can drain you or multiply you. The key is to turn them into force multipliers and to manage energy as a portfolio that generates more than it spends. Some activities are bad investments that leave you depleted. Others are assets that keep paying dividends. Add a deeper frame called systemic energy design with 3 layers. Physical, the body. Emotional, the heart. Cognitive, the mind. Your body is the battery. Your mind is the operating system. Your emotions are the temperature. Keep all 3 in balance, or the system overheats or shuts down. Physical levers include strength, mobility, nutrition, sleep. Emotional levers include naming feelings, honest conversation, gratitude, and boundaries. Cognitive levers include single-task focus, high-quality inputs, and deliberate breaks. Build daily rhythms that charge all layers. Morning light and movement prime the battery. Short breathing resets calm the temperature during stress spikes. Protected deep work blocks reduce cognitive noise and preserve capacity. Small, consistent practices compound faster than heroic bursts. When you optimize energy, you do more than improve health metrics. You upgrade performance across your life. Better energy produces clearer thinking, firmer choices, stronger relationships, and faster recovery after setbacks. This is not about becoming a health fanatic. It is about being strategic with your most fundamental resource. Design your system, then let the system carry you. When your foundation is strong, everything else becomes not only possible, but easier. That is real leverage. Chapter 11, Time and Focus Strategy. Time is not slipping away. It flows through channels you create. Everyone has the same 24 hours. But strategic time is not about hours. It is about attention and impact. Most people try to do more things in less time. The truth is different. Productivity is not speed. It is leverage. 1 hour of focused strategic work can outperform a week of scattered effort. Think of attention like a laser. Scattered, it barely leaves a mark. Focused, it cuts through steel. Deep work is not only concentration. It is a state where your capabilities multiply, where 1 hour feels like 4, and complex problems become clear. Make it real. Identify your prime time. Those golden hours when your mind is sharpest. Protect them like they are priceless. Design your environment so deep focus is the default. Remove distractions before they appear. Set simple triggers that pull you into flow. Now add a second engine called deep stillness. It is the art of pausing to go faster, Like an archer who draws the bow slowly to shoot farther, you step back to lengthen the shot. Use brief resets during projects. 1 minute of silence. 10 slow breaths. A short walk without your phone. The pause is not a break from the work. The pause is part of the work. Here is why this changes everything. When you master deep focus and deep stillness, you do not just get more done. You unlock results others call impossible. Insights surface. Skills compound. Time starts working for you instead of against you. This is not about becoming a time machine. It is about creating spaces of such clear focus that time seems to expand. Final line to remember. It is not the person who does more who wins. It is the person who dares to stop long enough to see farther. Chapter 12. Mental Model Architecture. Strategic thinking is not only about ideas. It is about the architecture that holds those ideas together. Mental models are the invisible frames that help you understand how the world works. They are shortcuts for thinking clearly, seeing cause and effect, and making decisions with precision. Most people look at the world as a pile of separate pieces. Strategic thinkers see the machine beneath the pieces. They recognize the patterns that link everything together. Mental models are those links. Each one acts like a lens. The more lenses you collect, the clearer your vision becomes. Start with a few foundational models. Second order thinking. Always ask, and then what? Understand consequences beyond the first move. Inversion. Instead of asking how to succeed, ask how to fail and avoid it. Pareto principle. Remember that roughly 20% of actions drive 80% of results. Focus there. Compounding. Realize that small, consistent improvements grow into extraordinary outcomes through time. These models are not theories to memorize. They are tools to apply. When facing a decision, rotate through them like lenses until the picture sharpens. Ask which model explains what you see and which one challenges your assumptions. Over time, you build a mental toolkit that turns confusion into clarity. Collecting models is not about sounding smart. It is about reducing error. The more frameworks you have, the faster you can diagnose problems, predict outcomes, and see hidden leverage. This is how you move from reacting to designing, from guessing to reasoning. The philosopher Charlie Munger called this lattice work of models worldly wisdom. It is the difference between a scattered mind and a structured one. Every model you master becomes a compass for judgment. In the end, remember this. Ordinary minds see fragments. Strategic minds see systems. Every model you add refines the map. Each one is a lens. The more lenses you look through, the clearer the world becomes. Chapter 13. Strategic Identity. You do not only need a strategy for your work, you need a strategy for the person you are becoming. Identity is the operating system under every plan. If you do not design it, old defaults will build it on 3 layers. What I do, actions and habits. The visible proof, how I think, beliefs and models. The rules your mind runs, who I am, core values and purpose. The anchor that does not move when plans do. Start with who I am. Name the values you will not trade. Tie them to purpose so direction survives uncertainty. Then shape how I think. Choose mental models that match your values and your goals. Write a simple credo for decisions. Finally, lock it in with what I do. Daily behaviors that generate evidence for the identity you claim. Evidence becomes confidence. Confidence sustains behavior. Use the identity loop. Identity shapes beliefs. Beliefs shape habits. Habits create results. Results reinforce identity. If the loop is giving you outcomes you do not want, intervene at the identity layer. Ask, who would easily do the thing I am resisting? And what would that person believe right now? Act from that state for one small step. Create identity constraints and commitments. I am the kind of person who finishes the hard first hour. I am the kind of leader who tells the truth kindly and quickly. I am the kind of creator who ships one useful thing each week. Keep them short. Track them daily. Protect your ecosystem. Surround yourself with people and environments that normalize the identity you are building. Stories you hear become scripts you follow. Curate inputs that keep your core steady. Strategic identity turns goals into byproducts. You stop chasing achievements to feel like someone. You become someone for whom the achievements are natural. Closing line to remember. Strategic thinking is not only about hitting targets. It is about designing yourself to be worthy of them. Conclusion. The Symphony of Strategy. Strategic thinking is not a single skill. It is a complete system for transforming your life. It is the master skill that amplifies every other skill you have. Think of what you have built through this journey. From self-analysis to vision, from environment design to decision-making. You now hold a full toolkit for designing the life you want. Each element connects and strengthens the others. Your vision guides your decisions. Your decisions shape your environment. Your environment supports your habits. Your habits create your results. Your results reinforce your vision. It is not a list of tools. It is an ecosystem of growth that loops forward with every deliberate choice. Picture the system as a living symphony. Each chapter you learned is an instrument. Alone, each one has its own sound. Clarity, focus, learning, energy, purpose. But when they play together, they create a larger harmony, the music of your life. The more skillfully you play, the more coherent and powerful your melody becomes. Remember that strategic thinking is not something you are born with. It is something you build. One decision, one insight, one act of awareness at a time. Every moment you pause to see the bigger pattern. Every time you align an action with your vision. Every time you design a system instead of reacting. You strengthen your strategic muscle, starting now. You face a simple choice. You can keep letting life compose your story for you, or you can pick up the baton and write your own score. Do not just play the notes written by others. Learn to compose the symphony of strategy that sounds like you.